Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sadina. You can just call me Kansha, and I'm from Indonesia. To be exact, from Universitas Gajah Mada, Indonesia. I study media and communication science, and I'm currently in my third year. I would describe myself as a communication science student who has experiences in public relations, digital marketing, and also partnership development. And through academic and organizational experience, I have developed really strong skills in networking and partnerships, stakeholder management, and also social media and content management. And I'm really passionate about business development, and I really aspire to help organization to grow in partnership terms, in terms of the partnership and innovative business strategies. So my academic background is strategic communication with focus on digital marketing, public relations, corporate communication, and also social campaigns. I'm really interested in the public relations, marketing, social media and content management, and also business development. And I found that my strength aligned well with my academic background and also my interests, which are networking and relationship building, public speaking, content production, and project coordination. So there are four key experiences that I've developed that align with my academic background, interest, and also strength. The first one is I was an external relations staff at Architecture&Interior Corporation, which is a company that focuses on urban planning. There I developed partnerships with many governmental institutions such as the Environmental Agency, the Housing Agency of Indonesia, and I also developed network with various corporate institutions, one of which is University of Queensland in Australia. And then I worked at Wakijab Coffee, which is a coffee shop back in my city, as a marketing and partnerships staff where I manage the social media content, I enhance the brand visibility and engagement on social media platforms, and I also establish partnerships contract with my customers, which mostly are communities and also organizations from the campus, my university. And there's Compare UGM and Working UGM, which is campus organizations, where I was the head of external relations. I established partnerships with various other student campus organizations, and I also network with people from various fields such as the politicians, journalist, and also communities leader back in my city. And the last one is I was the head of public relations of Kamarigama UGM, which is also the campus organization, a campus organization, where I executed many projects related to public relations and community engagement. And moving on to the company that I want to work for in the future, it's called the Arup Architecture and Interior. Has anyone ever heard of it? No? Yeah. Well, it's because it's owned by my family, so. So, regardless of that, Arup is an interior design startup that provide innovative design and solution for residential and commercial projects. They combine creativity, functionality, and also client-centered approaches to turn ideas into spaces that enhance everyday experiences. And in this company, I want to work in the sales and business division. So why exactly do I choose this industry, this interior design industry? The first reason is that it has consistent market demand, because people continue to need spaces. I mean, no matter how much the world has changed, or no matter how much it will change in the future, people will always need spaces, and people will always find places to live. Like, people will buy houses, people will renovate, people will build something, and as long as there's demand for house, there will be demand for the interior design. And also it has high value project, which means that in an interior design industry, you don't need many customers, because a single customer, they tend to spend a lot of money on a single project. So you don't need like hundreds of customers to make this project profitable. And the last one is it's highly visual and marketing driven industry. It performs well on social media platform, and I think my experience in social media and content management, it really aligns with what the industry aim to achieve. And why exactly this company? The main reason is actually it's a family-owned business, so I'm already familiar with how things work in the company. So I think it will make it easier for me to integrate into the structure of this company. And it's also a creative and innovative environment, which I really am excited to contribute to, and I see opportunity to contribute to the business growth. And how it connects to my major? Okay, at first glance, I guess it may seem that interior design and communication may seem unrelated, but actually interior design relies heavily on communication. For example, for the client communication and stakeholder management, because interior design is a surface business, so you need to know what the client wants, what their expectations are, and how to present the ideas of the designs to them persuasively. It all needs communication, and my major covers all that. Covers public relations, marketing, branding, and also client management. And there's also brand building, which I already achieved through my marketing and advertising major, and also strategy communication. So in many ways, communication is just the foundation that keeps the interior design industry going. And it also connects to my value like growth and continuous learning, building meaningful connections, and creating positive impact, which I think aligns perfectly with what the company wants to achieve. So for future preparations, what I need to develop are skills that I might not have learned before in my major, like academically and also organizational experience, like sales and business development, interior design fundamentals, property knowledge, negotiation, and also financial literacy. And I need to develop the skills. And also need to make networks to people like real estate agents, property developers, business owners, where I can find my clients, people who want to build, want to renovate, and also need to make networks with influencers and the medias to enhance brand visibility and also make good reputation for the company. And I also need to get more experiences in industry networking, sales business, startup environment exposure, and also client relationship management. So these are my action plans after I graduate that started in 2027 where I would graduate. In this year, I would start really learning the basic skill of how to work in a startup in a corporate wise. Like I would join a startup company, learn sales fundamentals, and build relationship with people that might be beneficial for me in the future. And then in 2028, I would start getting deeper into the interior design industry. Like I would develop interior design knowledge. I handle the client meetings myself, and I learn how to manage with the supplier and contractor. And in 2029, I would grow my network in the interior design industry in the company. I would manage the partnerships and client accounts myself. I strengthen my negotiation skill and expand networks across this interior design industry. And by 2030, I aspire to aim for the leader position. Like I would lead the partnerships, and I would explore long-term opportunities in the design industry. So yeah, I thrive at the intersection of people, strategy, and also business. Whether it's about building partnerships, about pitching ideas, or creating opportunities, my goal is to connect the right people with the right vision so that I can turn ideas into meaningful spaces that will be beneficial for many people in the future. So yeah. Yeah, that sums up my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Any questions? Okay.
So, with all your skills and experiences, do you think you can go to a better place when you plan your business?
I do. Okay, I do think I can go to a better place than my family business. Like, for example, when I graduate, I plan to join a startup company, other startup company rather than my family business, and I would learn things there, and then I would apply it back to my family business, because my main goal is to make this family business successful, and I believe that I can do it. So instead of working for other people, when I'm working for your family, but I would learn from other companies.
Nowadays, so many businesses are facing difficulties when doing going to separate the personal decisions with the professional decisions. As you mentioned, you like to work in your family business, right? So how you are going to differentiate between the professional decisions and the personal relationship decisions?
Okay, so I think when I say it's a family-owned business, it's not like everyone who's working it is my family. Of course not. I mean, we have other stuff too. So keeping it like professional in the workplace is a really fundamental aspect of being a staff. Like anywhere you go, you should always be professional and separate the difference between what comes in a professional term and also the private terms. So you just don't get it like mixed up between, even though you work with your family and like the company, you should always separate the private matter and also the professional matter. Thank you. Okay.
So first of all the best for your business, and like architecture and interior design is it's a growing business. And how do you think, like what will be your marketing strategy, or what will you do for making your business stand out unique in this competitive industry?
What will I do to advertise?
Make it unique, yeah.
Make it unique. Okay, so we get to approach actually my this company rather than the residential rather than focusing on residential building, it actually more leaning into commercial projects. Like we offer designs to people who has businesses, whether they want to like upgrade their spaces and all that. So many other architecture company, they tend to like approach people individually in terms of like wanting to renovate or building like residential private house for them, but we take a different approach and approaching more on the commercial people, like businesses. That's what makes it different, I guess, from other architecture and design interior company.
All right, well done. Next one is Mazuri.